Yeah, never argue with the guy with the mic. Anyway, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Opal Singelton of Million Kids. Get ready.
Good evening, and thank you very much for inviting me to share with you today. I also work with human trafficking, and a bit different perhaps, and some of you may have heard me speak. My organization is Million Kids, and it's called A Million Kids because over 1 million kids are trafficked each year throughout the world. I actually work all over the world. My background is Cambodia, but I work for the Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force, and I have a contract with the Department of Justice and with the Riverside County Sheriff Department. I'm an instructor at USC for human trafficking, and I'm also on the panel that wrote the human trafficking curriculum for the entire state of California law enforcement. I train a lot of law enforcement. I just came back from training Joplin, Missouri law enforcement, and in 2 days, I'm going to go train all the Alaska State Troopers. So I'm really excited. I told them I need 2 tickets or I'm going to be divorced. So I'm deep into this. One of the most important things that you can do is follow Million Kids on Facebook. And the reason I want you to do that is I believe it is the best Facebook page in America for training on human trafficking. The lady who runs that happens to be here. You want to wave up here for us? This is Susie Carpenter, and she's my hero. She posts new cases of human trafficking and all about the latest technologies every day. Sometimes we have 2, 3, and 4 cases a day. And that's very, very important. I am going to talk about technology because I have, in the last few weeks, gone through a journey that I want to share with you. And I'd ask you to pray about it and join with us. One of the things that Susie and I do is have a global radio show called Exploited Crimes Against Humanity. Every Thursday morning at 7 a.m., I am on Voice America Variety Channel. And I'm amazed that after the 5th week of being on the air, we are the top show for Voice America Variety Channel. So I'm very grateful for the gift from God from that. But this is a program that you can archive in your church, and that's one of the most important reasons I'm here today. It is absolutely free. You see, I look at every human trafficking case in America every day, and I look at every child pornography case, and it is an absolute epidemic. I've been doing it for years and years now. I actually used to look like the person on the back of my book that you saw out there, because this is hard business, but we need to go after this. We want you to archive the show for free, so everyone in your church that wants to get free human trafficking training can get that. And you can also archive or access our archive shows. Child pornography, gangs, the psychology of grooming. This week we're going to have Dr. Skip Lanford from Friend Yorba Linda. He just came back from Jordan and Greece and all of the camps there that the migrants were in. So we cover a lot of different subjects. It's exploited crimes against humanity, and you can also see it at the Million Kids website. I'm going to come back to that because it's really key to where I'm going. But this I want to share with you. I believe with all my heart that God has a God-sized dream for you, and I know He does for me. Because in the last few weeks, He has opened my heart and my eyes in ways that I never could have believed possible. And I want you, as Dr. Levy just said, use your imagination and come along with me. The program that we're creating is called EDGE, and it stands for Eradicating Domestic and Global Exploitation. This is a big challenge we are taking on. There are 2 cataclysmic events happening in our world right now that are changing everything, and it puts us in a unique time ever in society. Number 1, we have global mass migration. And when you have displaced people and refugees, you have people who are vulnerable to exploitation. Additionally, our lives are now controlled by technology, as we were talking about. In fact, technology isn't good or bad. It is how we choose to use it. But technology creates a fantasy world. And it is how we train our children to live in that fantasy world that will make the difference. There are over 1 million predators online at any given time. In fact, much of the world is now connected by the internet. It allows total strangers to access, groom, recruit, and exploit our young people. It allows total strangers to talk to our kids about morality, spirituality, sexuality, things that used to be the holy grail for parents. Today, there are over 3.5 billion people on the internet. In less than 3.5 years, we expect the entire world to be connected by the internet. This is the map as it looks today. I want you to use your imagination of where this is going. I wrote a book called Seduce, The Grooming of America's Teenagers. I'm still blown away that I wrote that book, quite frankly. I never wanted to be an author. I didn't even know I was going to write a book the day I started writing the book. I wrote a book about that because a kid at Pomona High School made me mad. And I went home over Christmas, and my husband would say, honey, it's Christmas, and I'd say, I don't care, I'm writing a book. I always say God wrote that book, and I typed that book because we did that book in 3 weeks. But it is a 5-star book. It's gone for its 4th printing on here, and I'm very, very grateful for it. Actually, Los Angeles Unified School District purchased 500 of them because I want you to think about something in your life. This is the first generation ever in history that has never not known the internet. Now, their older brothers and sisters knew that internet, but they didn't have devices 24/7. 87% of kids sleep with their phone. In fact, I'd be willing to bet you everyone in this room has taken that phone to the bathroom with you at least once. And 20% of you have lost it in the toilet. And I'm one of them, and I've done it twice because I'm especially talented, okay? So, as he was talking about, we have cell phone addiction. It's changed our life, and it is about to change the entire world. You see, one of the things that is at stake here is fantasy relationships. It's interesting that I followed the guy who was talking about imagination. You see, the way this all works is a predator doesn't work like you think he does. He'll be on a Kik program, that's K-I-K, that's an instant message. He sends something cute, she sends something back. He sends a text or a tweet, and they go back and forth, texting and tweeting. And they're meeting on it and sharing an Instagram, or they're meeting on Facebook or Pinterest, or sharing a YouTube, and pretty soon it's, hey, let's play Xbox. And mom and dad are saying, hey, don't talk to strangers. But he's not a stranger. And that is how it happens. You see, predators only give you a little bit of information, and you make up the rest. This is a very important point to think about. Because if you're making that up, it's yours. It is your passion, your idea, your obsession. And mom and dad are starting to fight with that 14-year-old kid. You're not fighting with the kid. You're not even fighting with the predator. You are fighting with the fantasy. And it is important to understand that that is how this works. You see, these girls, they're falling in love with these guys. This is cool. Man, this guy's really hot. I'm in love, or maybe heat. But I really like this guy. Except this is what they're getting. Now, we can all agree this guy's ugly. I don't have any problem saying that. He just got 30 years in prison, and I'm all for it, okay? This guy has 300 victims. How did he get 300 victims? He didn't look like that to these guys. He looked like that. And that is how it is happening over and over. I take these calls. I take calls all week long. I sit with parents who are missing their kids. I sit with kids who are in trouble or have a naked photo out there. Now, if you don't know this, this is World of Warcraft. I want to talk about online gaming a minute. I am not against gaming. It is how our kids are going to learn. You see 3-year-olds playing those little games, and good luck to you. God help you, you tried to take that game away from a 3-year-old. And our world is being groomed in this. This is World of Warcraft. In what other world would we take a young man who's 11, 12, 13, 14 years old? He's getting his sexual identity, he's getting his moral identity, and we take him by the hand and let him play in the world of occult and sorcery. I don't know where this line came from. I cannot find it in the Bible, but I will share it with you because I believe God talks to me about this. And that is They laid their children at the altar of other gods. In what other world would we take our children and let them play in a world of occult and sorcery, and then we add sex to it? And this isn't any sex, this is animated sex. I have a great young man. I wish I had a video of this boy. He was great. He's like 13. And he came up to me at Harupa High and he said, Miss Singelton, this game is really raunchy. And I said, really? Are you playing that game? He said, yeah, it's really bad. I said, really? You play that every night? And he said, yeah. I said, well, are you addicted to it? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, you given that up? And he said, probably not. And I said, well, then you're addicted to it. And he said, yeah, well, it's really raunchy. I love this kid. He's standing there telling me, I'm 13 years old, I'm addicted to pornography, and I'm not giving it up, and I know it's really, really bad, but I'm not giving it up. We're taking our young men and our young women as they're going through puberty, as they're getting their moral identity, and we are putting them in there. Now I want to talk to you about the dark web, because this is where I'm going. The dark web is an amazing thing. I've been studying it, and I'm going to tell you, every morning you have to get up and put on the full armor of God to live in this world. We live in the internet that's called the surface internet. It's that top 3% where there's Google, Google, Bing, and Chrome, not cream. Okay, that's where we live, top 3%. Then the deep web, and then the dark web, and that is where ISIS lives. That is where money launderers, cartels, and that is where child pornographer lives. By the way, that's where hackers live. The DNC stuff, don't get me started on that. All that's for sale. Whether you own a gun, whether or not you're for abortion or gay rights, all that's for sale in the dark web right now. 185 million names. But that is where child pornographers live. This young man ran the largest child pornography ring in the world until recently. And his name is Jonathan Johnson. So how does this work? Well, your 12, 13-year-old son is in there playing World of Warcraft, and he's having a great time, and things are going really good, and this cute little thing comes into his life, and he goes, whoa, baby. My lucky day, a girl who plays World of Warcraft, and she likes me, and I'm kind of a nerd. And so one day he's playing back and forth, and they become really good buddies, and she drops her naked photo on him, and she wants one back. And he says, no. But she says, I gave you mine. And pretty soon, he's given it hers, only it's really him. And it goes to this guy. And all of a sudden, you have 27,000 child pornographers contacting this boy saying, hey, I think I like you. And I know where you live. And I want some money. And that is how it's happening. I want to hurry through because I'm losing some time, and I want to share with you where this is going. I'm going to back up a minute. This is too important. This is Grand Theft Auto. This is why I wrote my book. And in this book, you literally have sex with a prostitute. You pay real money, $20, $50, $70, real money to have virtual sex with this girl, and you kill her to get your money back. And when you ask kids, hey, is it a problem? Do you feel bad? They say no. It's just a game. Sex isn't sex, killing isn't killing. And I did a survey at a large church not long ago where they said sin on the internet is not sin. So I want to talk to you about this new technology because you must understand. Facebook just opened a legitimate site in the dark web. They added live streaming and bitcoins. Bitcoins are non-traceable and they are anonymous. They can reach out to tens of thousands of people. 1 million people joined in the first 3 weeks that they were in the dark web. And then they added virtual reality pornography. This man said he tested it out. He said, I've been married 30 years. I never cheated on my wife in my life. And I tried this out, and he said in 5 minutes I was doing stuff with 3 people I'll never admit to a soul. And then he said, but it burned on my heart for nearly a month. And I said to myself, who plays virtual reality stuff? Our kids' game makers. And it is coming to a place near you. So I want you to see where this is going. The FBI just found a child pornography site in the dark web that has 215,000 users. When I saw that, I thought to myself, because we're already seeing little kids from Philippines, from Cambodia, from Kenya, from India being violated by people sitting in America in the comfort of their own home. They go out, they get that child out of their hut, they bring them into a brothel, and they violate them, and that is all charged on bitcoins. Well, one of the things that came to me just recently is that there is no child in the world that is safe because older brothers around the world will sell their little sisters. And on top of that, we now have the ability to put 20,000 people, or pick a number, together in a live streaming event where they watch the violation of one child in a third world country. It is all built on cyber currency, and nobody will know about it because it'll be over in 10 minutes or less. And we must do something about it. I thought, how bad can this get? The very next week, I saw this particular headline. One case of child pornography, 30 million images of child pornography just last week. So I'm going to tell you right here that we can look the other way, but now we can't say that we don't know. Come with me on this challenge. I looked at this and I said, what can I do? Well, it's you and me and God needs to take this on. I'm just one person, and I'm asking you to join me. One is I need technology, and I know where to get it, and I know how to find it, and it's technology that will find the image of a naked child even in live streaming, and that is available today. One of them is to set up a global hotline so that when that girl out in that village calls somebody in Cambodia, it can be reported globally because that perpetrator is probably sitting in his home in Minnesota. But here's where I need you, and I need you really to come along with me. This is a huge worldwide problem. We just got started. You know what? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have missionaries all over the world. My show goes to 170 countries. Please archive my show on your church website, your organization website. Write to your missionaries and let me train them. Most missionaries are not trained in cyber exploitation. Thank you. On top of it, let's create curriculums so that they can talk to those children out there. Anybody tries to take your picture, you come and you report it. We need to talk to our kids now. No child in the world at this point is safe, and we have to take it on. It sounds like a major job. I'm 70 years old. I go down and I lay down at night and I think, you've gone off your rocker, lady. You know, it's only the whole world. But you know what? It isn't only me. It is you. You know missionaries, and you know how to talk to them. Connect them to us. Let us train them. Come with us. Let's take this on. Thank you.
Let's pray for Opal. Father, every time I hear Opal, Lord, it's incredible what you are doing through her and the battle you're fighting through this woman who most of us at this age, and I'm at that age, that I just want to sit down. And yet, she is an incredible warrior for you, Lord. I pray that you would give her strength, that you would give her wisdom, that you would give her discernment, that you would protect her, that you would give her the full armor of God every day. Give her the resources, Lord. May there be people here who would come alongside her, that would help her, that would support her, that would open doors for her that she might not even imagine, that might get some of these gals help. Some of these young men, too, these boys, get them the help, too, and get them out of this horrible, horrible cesspool that they're in. They lift this up to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you.